Hello everyone, I'm Banggapoy Alvaris from ICP5 Grade 11. Today, we aren't just looking at a clothing store. We are going to analyze a revolution in global business logic. We are talking about Zara and its parent company, Inditex. To understand Zara's success, we have to go back to 1963. Amancio Ortega Gaona began his career as a simple clothing manufacturer in A Coruña, Spain, making garments for wholesaler. But a single event in 1975 changed everything. A customer cancelled a massive order, leaving Ortega with a warehouse full of unsold goods. Instead of panicking, he spent he opened his own store to sell those products directly. He almost named it Sorba, but because a nearby bar already had that name, he reused the billboard letters to create Zara. This was the birth of a philosophy that still drives the companies today: the importance of a bottom-up structure. Ortega realized that the wholesalers didn't truly know what customers wanted. He wanted one hand touching the factories and the other touching stores. By 1980s, Zara was already integrating computers and information systems to handle massive amounts of data. This wasn't just about fashions, it was about information management, and by 2010, this small Spanish shop had transformed into a global giant with over 5,000 stores in 80 countries. And what makes Zara truly unique in the industrial world, yeah, it is that their virtuous, uh, virtuous cycle. While most retailers guess what you want months in advance, Zara listens to what you are saying right now. It's not like they're surveillancing us, but um, here, inside the Zara's headquarters, there is no wall between the departments. Designer and procurement specialists and also production planners sit at large communal tables in a massive open areas. They're joined by the commercials, market specialists who spend their entire day to store manager talking to store managers around the world. When a store manager in Tokyo says people are asking for blue zippers, that information goes straight to a designer's desk. A sketch is made, a prototype is approved, and it goes to productions immediately. This allows Zara to deliver a new collections in just 2 weeks, where traditional retail take up to 40 weeks. And unlike competitors who outsource everything to low-cost market in Asia, Zara keeps about 50% of its productions close to home in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. They follow just-in-time principles, which is a system adapted from Toyota. They don't produce in a massive bulk, they produce in a small batches. They would rather to run out of a popular shirt than have thousands of unsold ones sitting in a warehouse. If they can produce an item at the right prices and speed at the if they can produce a small item um, in if they oh sorry wait yeah if they can produce an item, yeah, in at the right prices, um, and spend in house, they going to look elsewhere. But for the trendy items that changes every week, speed is more important than labor costs. Once the clothes are made, the logistics are mind-blowing. Zara uses an aerial monorail systems that connect the factories directly into the distribution centers. Um, and uh, every single garment, whether it's going to London or maybe Jakarta, I guess, passes through Spain. They ship twice a week. If you are store managers, you have a strict deadline to place your order. And if you miss it, you wait. This fixed schedule keeps the entire global system running like a Swiss watch. You know Swiss watch, right? That expensive and detailed watch that are very, very accurate and also very beautiful. I really want that. Sadly, it's very hard to get and also it's very expensive, so I don't have enough money. But yeah, you guys know like the Swiss watch. Swiss are all known for its watchmaker, which is very, very great. Just like what I explained, yeah, a few maybe in a last video, the previous video before this one, I mentioned a little bit about Swiss watch. Oh, sorry. Let's get back to the main material. Okay, and to understand Zara's industrial brilliance, we have to compare it to the slow fashion giants. And um, based in San Francisco, the Gap was once the king of retails. GAP, Gap, but they operate on a buying model. They place orders with overseas manufacturers up to 9 months before a season begins. The problems in 9 months, fashion trends has already changes. And if the Gap guesses wrong, they are forced to use heavily 30% markdowns just to clear their shelf and then um, resell the other. And what's the result? The result is that by 2009, the Gap saw that its revenues declines, while Inditex, the parent company of Zara, are continued to grow. Then we have the H&Ms from Sweden. They are Zara's closest rival, yeah, because it's from Sweden. You know Sweden, right? Sweden is Slavic country that are one of the best. Yeah, H&M also has a fast turnover, but they rely on a what is it? But they rely on a network of 700 independent suppliers and don't own their own factories like Zara does. And then finally, there is the fast retailing, um, the ownership of Uniqlo. You guys must know Uniqlo, right? The famous clothing brand that are everywhere. You guys should know them because if you doesn't know about Uniqlo, then um, you may need to search it up right now. It is one of the best clothing brand that still exists today, and um, their strategy is different, which is they focus on high quality basics rather than fast changing trends. And then if you look at the financial data from the last decade, the results are clear. While 2008 economics crisis hit many retailers hard, Inditex, or the parent company of Zara, revenue grew from roughly, how much is it? 2.4 billion in 2000 to over 16.5 if I'm not wrong in 2010. Their net income nearly quadrupled, quadrupled in that same period because Zara creates a sense of urgency. The urgency, the idea that if you don't buy it now, it'll be gone in the next week. So yeah, they have much higher profit margins and half the markdown rates of a traditional retailer. And then, as we look in the future, Zara is moving beyond just fast to smart and sustainable. And in 2010, Zara finally launched its online store. They were carefully they were careful because they didn't want to lose the in-store experience. Today, they use the RFID or radio frequency identification technology. It's the same technology that you may have in your credit card or debit card. Yeah, it's the same, which is it works wirelessly. Like if you have credit card that has this logo, it means that it has an RFID, but it's not like the usual RFID. It's the more complex one, but it's still radio frequency identifications that you can just tap it to your smartphone to something like maybe like this. It's to open a menu, or if you have a debit card, maybe you open options for your banks or reward. But yeah, and the um, what the Zara do is that every garment has a chip that tells the store exactly where it is in the back room, on the shelf, or in the fitting room. This allows for real-time inventory tracking that was impossible 10 years ago. The fashion industry is often criticized for its environmental impact. However, the data actually shows that Zara has been working to become more efficient between 2006 and 2008. Even as the company grew, their CO2 emissions per square meter of store space dropped pretty significantly. Like their water consumption followed a similar downward trend. Inditex, the parent company of Zara, has implemented um, strict codes of conduct like clear to wear and safe to wear to ensure product healthy and safety. They also joined the Ethical Trade Initiative to improve working conditions in their global supply chain. For my proposal for on the circular economy, I suggest that Zara Loop program. What is Zara Loop program? I have 3 points. That's the first one is upcycling waste. So Zara's factory are already use sophisticated CAD system, computer, um, what is it? Computer aided design, yeah, CAD, the CAD, computer aided design systems to cut fabric with minimal waste. The loop would take those remaining scraps and mechanically recycle them into a new signature upcycled line. And then the second one is the repair revolution. Imagine a repair station in every flagship Zara store. Instead of throwing away a jacket with a broken zipper, Zara on tailor could fix it, extending the life of the garment. And then the third one is the closed loop logistics, which since Zara already has trucks and planes returning from to Spain every week, those same vehicles could carry collected old garments back to their recycling centers, creating a truly circular journey. And so, what have we learned from the Zara case? We learned that the modern economy's speed is a competitive advantage. By keeping productions close to home and listening to the customers every single day, Zara has redefined what it means to be a retailer. They have turned the supply chain into conversations. But as a grade 11 students, we are also realize that the next decade of fashion isn't just about being fast; it's about being responsible. Zara's challenge is to use its incredibly strategic agility to lead the world into a sustainable future. The journey from Amancio Ortega's first shop in a Coruna to a global empire is a testament to the power of observations and innovations. As a future leader, we should take these lessons with us. Stay close to your computer, like move fast, but always keep an eye on the footprint you leave behind. And thank you for your time. I'm Bangkit Bayu Alvaris, and yeah, I guess stay critical and stay rational, and see you in the next video.